A small coal shovel or a paddle is a very useful tool when working a coal fire in blacksmithing, and today I thought I would make a new one to replace my old one that's kind of bent up and burned up because I often use it for heating small parts in, not just shoveling coal. To make our little coal shovel, I just found a piece of scrap out in one of the scrap buckets. This happens to be a piece of 3/8 by 3/4, so that's about 10 millimeter by 20 millimeter, and it's about 11.5 inches long, so what's that, about 290 millimeters long. The exact size really doesn't matter. You can make a good useful tool from a variety of different starting points. My older shovel here was made from a piece of 1/2-inch square bar for the handle, and it was forge welded to a flat bar of some sort, I don't remember what the size was, to make the little shovel pan. I'm going to start off by isolating the mass for the handle and leaving enough for a comfortable grip on this, drawing out the handle and leaving some more mass on the other end for the shovel blade, and whatever length it ends up when I think it looks good is just whatever length it ends up. This doesn't need to be a great big tool. We're not talking about tending a bonfire. We're using this just to bring coal up into the fire and help clean out clinker and things like that. And I'll just be using box jaw tongs to hold on to this while I work on that. I'm going to make that offset just right over the edge of the anvil. I'm trying to keep the edge of the hammer and the edge of the anvil aligned here and working back and forth to correct any small errors. You can certainly use a spring fuller to start with. But this is a good challenge to try and do it this way. I think I'll go ahead and draw this out longer before I worry too much more about that transition point now that it's established. And of course, the horn of the anvil is a great place to draw this out. Then clean it up at the face of the anvil. I want this to either be parallel or to taper slightly, and it's got a little fat spot in the middle. You can leave this square, you can round it up, you can put a twist in it. Whatever you feel like doing. I think I'm going to make it octagon just to be different. Just lightly straightening it now. I've had different thoughts on this handle throughout this project. Originally I was just going to leave it kind of as is and punch a hole to hang it from. And then I thought about some sort of a twist, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it in the middle. I'm not going to split it out the end. And then I'm going to open that up a little bit and then twist it and see what it comes out looking like. I'm not going to go all the way through without a cutting plate on there. You don't want to cut into your anvil. And hopefully I can get this cut in the same place. Cleaning some of the rag off the inside there. I'm going to open this up just a little bit here. That way I should be able to get a file in there. I don't want to take away the sign of it being chisel cut. I just want to make sure there's no sharp edges. And yes, for hot filing and hot rasping, you can run the file in both directions. It's an old worn out file. Been using the same one this way for years. And I'll go ahead and put my touch mark on the handle before I put the twist in it. Should have done this before I split it, but just want to knock the corners off of the end here. This is up a little bit further than the other one, so I want to close it some. I think a half turn is all that wants. I think that'll be a very interesting handle for that. Now I'm going to let that cool, and I should be able to actually hold onto the handle while we work on the shovel end. The shovel or paddle portion is spread using the cross peen of the hammer. Start spreading in the center, then work your way out to one edge, then come back and work your way back to the other edge. At this stage, you could just as easily be making a barbecue flipper or a cooking spoon of some sort. As this gets thinner, it becomes very easy to burn, so be real careful when reheating it. Now I've ended up with something that's a little bit crooked and misshapen here, so I think I'm going to take this to the grinder, clean up the profile real quick, and then we'll see if there's any more shaping to do. Now, a lot of people like these just as a flat paddle, just like it is now, and some people prefer a little bit of a shovel scoop in there so things don't spill off the side. I'm not sure if one is really better than the other, just a little bit different, so it's whatever your personal preference is. I will probably shape it a little bit like a shovel. Black Bear Forge is sponsored by Combat Abrasives. Use the link in the video description and the coupon code BLACKBEAR10 for a discount on your next order. I like that shape a lot better. Now you can use all sorts of swedges and other forms to shape something like this, but I'm just going to do it right here at the anvil using the hardy hole to do a little bit of dishing and bending over the edge. This is just whatever shape you like on your project. So I think that's where I'm going to leave this project. It's a completely functional little coal shovel or scoop, and that'll come in handy at the forge. This is one of those projects that you can make as simple or as difficult as you want to, depending on what you want to do for the handle end and for the shank. Just leave it as a square bar is certainly simple. Adding a twist is a simple thing to do. But I really like this octagon. I don't think I've ever done a full-length tool shank like that before. And I like that, and I really like this twisted handle here. I think it could be a little bit bigger. For this project, it's just fine, but I'm thinking full-size set of fireplace tools, poker, shovel, broom, things like that. Heavier material, but I like this design. I like this. I think it's really something I want to explore some more. And of course, bigger for the shovel end too. But an all one-piece shovel is kind of an interesting take that I don't often do. Usually I rivet a shovel pan onto a handle, but this would be worth exploring. Maybe start with 1/2 by 1.5 material, or 1/2 by 1 even might do it. Just something to think about and try in the future. This tool ended up being 18 inches overall, so that's almost 460 millimeters overall length. So that was a fair amount of stretch from what I started with originally, and it's very close in length to the one that I had before, this old beat up one. So I'm very happy with it. I think it's going to be a good tool to have at the forge. Perhaps the shovel end could be a little bit wider and longer just to hold more coal. But this isn't really used as a big shovel. It's just used for kind of bringing the fire under control or helping you fish clinkers out of the fire pot, things like that. So it doesn't really need to be that much bigger. I do hope you enjoyed the project. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button down there. Feel free to stick around, watch a few of the other videos, share the videos with your friends. In the meantime, I hope you have time in your day to get into your shop. Make something, but be safe, wear your safety glasses, and we'll see you for the next one.